I'm not gonna lie, we might as well give the Lakers a championship now. Yesterday, the Lakers went up against the Cavs, and it was the best game of the night besides the Thunder Timberwolves. But here's why. Lakers go up against the Cavs, and honestly, these are my two favorite teams of the year so far. And I'm not gonna lie to you, saying that, I just keep thinking about the Thunder and where I placed them this year, and it's been a hard time for me to figure that out. But neither here or there. Lakers go up against the Cavs. First quarter, Cavs come out swinging. They come out like just on a roll. They go on the run. And it seems like the Cavs are about to run away with it again. It seems like they're about to get another win with no competition and just embarrass the opponent. But then the Lakers locked in. End of the first quarter, they go on the run. And it turned out to be a game. And it came from Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James even had a couple of buckets where he looked like prom LeBron. And I was like, yo, we might have another LeBron game. We might have like a 40-piece LeBron game tonight. Like, it might be some type of historical night. But that's not what happened. Second quarter came, and the Cavs tried to go on another run. And even though they did, the Lakers always fought back. And again, what I said last time, the Lakers play defense in spurts, and they lock in and go on runs in spurts, but they can't maintain that for a whole quarter, and that's their problem. Then we go to the third quarter, and in the third quarter is where the game was almost over for the Lakers. The Cavs start hitting their three. Max Strus went like 4 for 6 in this quarter from three. He had the same amount of three-point shots made as the entire Lakers team in the third quarter. And you can't allow that to happen, especially from this Cavs team, who is the best three-point shooting team percentage-wise. And even though the Celtics take 53s a game, this team might not make that much, but they're going to make them at a very high clip. And with the Cavs, in the third quarter, I think it was 17 threes to 7. And that was pretty much the story of the game, because the Lakers didn't play that bad. You look at their defense, their offense, they didn't play that bad. It's just the fact that the Cavs made threes. And then whenever they couldn't get a three-point shot, they threw it inside to Jared Allen. They gave it to Evan Mobley. Even Evan Mobley hit a three-point shot. And that was, to me, the backbreaker for the Lakers. Because even when you go to the fourth quarter, it was the same thing. Everything the Lakers did, the Cavs had a response for. No matter what the Lakers did, no matter how many runs they went on, no matter how many times they forced the Cavs to turn it over, the Cavs always had a response, and they always came back. And the thing about the Cavs is, you might be able to go on the run and get 10, 15 points. But when they come down and they hit 2 threes, it's like your run doesn't even matter. Because that's all they need. And they might even have a couple of bad plays where they turn over the ball, but they're going to play defense, and then come back down, hit a 3. And then it's over. And individually, I think this was the best game of the night. Like, for individual stats, individual gameplay, individual like player success, this was the best game of the night. Austin Reeves almost had another triple-double. He had 35, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, and he almost got the Lakers to win at the end. Last 5 minutes, it was like, just give the ball to Reeves and see what play he comes up with. And I kind of like that for the Lakers, because it gives you a third scorer. It gives you a third ball handler, a third playmaker, and it helps LeBron out. It keeps people off of LeBron. And when it comes to playoff time, this can be very big for the Lakers. And then LeBron also had a couple of plays where he just bullied his way to the basket, and there was no way of stopping him. And honestly, if LeBron did this for the last minute and a half of the game, I think the Lakers would have had a chance. I think potentially we could have got another Austin Reeves game winner. But this is what makes the Cavs great. LeBron had a 23-point game with like 7 assists, a couple of rebounds, or 9 assists and 7 rebounds. Anthony Davis had 28 points, and I believe he had a double-double with rebounds. Austin Reeves almost had a triple-double, and they just couldn't beat the Cavs. And you look at the Cavs, and you would think that it took one person or two people. No, it took the whole team. Donovan Mitchell had 26 points. Jared Allen had 27 points, even down the stretch. In crunch time, there's a couple of times where Darius Garland found Jared Allen for the bucket and won. There was a couple of times where Jared Allen made plays like that, and this is why Jared Allen and Evan Mobley lineup is so big for the Cavs. It's hard to really score on them, and then it's hard to stop them. They're so versatile, and everybody in the Cavs know their role. Like, you're not going to see Jared Allen take a three, but when it comes down to the paint, there's no stopping him. There's times when he went past LeBron, times when he went past Anthony Davis, and he's always been that type of player, but I think this year the Cavs hit another level. Darius Garland had a 14-point game, but he put up 14 assists. He was playmaking. Down the stretch was when he really hurt the Lakers. He wasn't scoring, but he'll get to the paint, and then they'll try to collapse, and AD will come try to help on defense so he doesn't get an easy layup and an easy drive to the basket, and then he'll just get it to Jared Allen or somebody else, and then they'll make the extra pass. And it was just like, no matter what the Lakers did, they could play defense for the entire 23 seconds, and the Cavs still found a shot in the last second. Then we had the Thunder going up against the Timberwolves, and honestly, this was my favorite game of the night. And I'm so happy that it lived up to potential. I watched this game in the beginning, and I was like, yo, I'm not going to lie. I never thought about this before, but a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Anthony Edwards matchup might be what we need. This might be the rivalry we need in the West. Two young teams with two stars that can score, that can defend, that are there playing the hardest, and they putting everything on the court for their team, and their teams are doing good. Now, mind you, one team might be doing way better than the other team, but their teams are doing good. And Shai performed. And another thing, before I even talk about Shai, the Thunder played really good defense. Go back to the first half. Thunder was struggling to get their offense going. But they locked in on Edwards. They held him. I think he only had like 10 points in the first half. Ended the game with 15. That's great defense. Knowing that he's going to be the primary scorer on this team. He's going to be like, everybody knows Edwards is a star. So they locked in on him, and it was amazing defense. Like, knowing that they were down and they were struggling to get their offense going, they stayed in the game. They still had a chance. Shai was unstoppable. And then you get to the third quarter, and everything went crazy for the Thunder. Like, all hell let loose. Like, everything they wanted, they got. Threes were coming in from everywhere. And then you got Shai. He had sat down for a little bit, came back, straight to the basket, 2 threes, and ended the game with 40 points. They had a 43-point third quarter. Shai had a 19-point third quarter himself. And fourth quarter, they locked in. Timberwolves try to come back. They try to fight back. And the Thunder just forced turnovers, got steals when it mattered the most. And this is the thing that is so scary about these young teams. And that's why it's so fun when they go up against each other. When it matters the most, they make the plays that you're like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, that was a gamble. Like, there was times where they get a steal and it's like 20 seconds left on the clock. And you know, like when players try to go for the 2-for-1, and they'll get a steal, and the other team will get it back and they get another steal. And this type of plays, these type of hustle plays, are the reason why these young teams are so good. And you see like a lot of older teams like the Suns, like the Lakers, even though the Lakers are doing better this year, but they're not doing as good as these young teams. And that's why, like, these young teams, they're putting everything on the court. They got nothing to lose. They're playing with house money, and all they need to do is prove themselves to themselves and to their fans. And the Thunder, honestly, this is what makes them great. Even though Shai had 40 points, and even though they had a 43-point third quarter, they still locked in defensively and offensively in the fourth quarter. And it's not just the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander show. It might seem like it, but it's not that. They had like 3 players who had 15 points. They play defense. They play together. It doesn't matter who's scoring. It doesn't matter who has the ball. They trust each other. And the starting lineup, I believe, all had double-digit scoring, give or take one person. And that's really big for a team like this. And there were times where I think they had passed the ball to Rudy Gobert. And the Thunder was, I know it's kind of like, it might be like a dumb thing to say. The Thunder quickly noticed that Rudy got the ball. They know Rudy doesn't have hands like that for real. And they stole the ball. They got it and iced the game. And I can't wait for that to go to the playoffs. I can't wait to see the Thunder in the playoffs. I want to see how it's going to turn out. I want to see Trent Holmgren come back. I want to see how this team looks when it's whole. Because right now with just Shai, they look great. Then we had the Suns go up against the Grizzlies. It's like garbage and ass going up against each other. and the Grizzlies pulled out the win. The Grizzlies, not that they're ass or trash, but without Ja, you think that they're not going to win. You think that they're going to play hard. You think the Grizzlies are not going to be there, but they were there. 38 points from Triple J, another 30-point game from Desmond Bane, and the Suns just couldn't do anything. Like, first half, I think they were down by like 15. Third quarter comes, they fight back. And it's like, okay, now it looks like there's a game. They have a chance. Fourth quarter, everything looks competitive. Last 4 minutes, we stay at a 4-point game. Cut it down to like 1 or 2 points. Book hits a clutch 3. And they just couldn't stop anything. They couldn't get a stop for nothing. Jaren Jackson Jr. was getting whatever he wanted down the stretch. And not only was he getting that, the Suns would foul him. And it's an N1. And he would hit his free throws. And they got a couple of clutch buckets from a couple of other players. The Suns just could not get a stop. Bradley Beal went down in the first quarter. It sucks because Book just came back and that's who we've been waiting on. But I'm not going to lie to you. I think this team flows way better when Devin Booker is on the court rather than when anybody else is on the court. I think the team might, well, obviously it's going to revolve around Devin Booker, but I think the offensive plan and the defensive schemes for them revolve around Devin Booker as well, because they looked, even though Bradley Beal went down, this looked like a game where the Suns might have momentum moving forward. Even though they lost, the fact that they fought back, the fact they were able to lock down a couple of possessions in the third quarter to come back, the fact that they got their offense going and looked a little bit more smoother than usual, I think this might be a turning point for the Suns. Not saying that they're going to automatically go on a 15, 20 game win streak, but they might go on a 3-game win streak every now and then and just ride the wave to the play-in or the playoffs. I think this might be the game. The Grizzlies, good for them. Ja wasn't there, pulled out a win. They've been pulling out a couple of wins. And they've been playing as a team, honestly. Like, they grind. Even when they're not making their threes, they're still in the game. They fight their hardest. They make sure they put everything on the court. And somehow, some way, they pull wins out. It's like it's like the grit and grind Grizzlies all over again. Then we had the Bucks Pacers. And this game, I was wondering how the hell the Bucks only won by 8 with everybody playing. And not because I don't believe in the Pacers, but because I just thought the Pacers like just can't guard Giannis. And I was watching the game, and first quarter, I think the end of the first quarter, the Bucks went on a 12-0 run, brought it back. We get to the second quarter, the Pacers go up by 19, and I thought this is over. I thought that's it. Tyrese Halliburton's gonna kill them. Pascal Siakam's gonna kill them. Benedict Mathurin's gonna go crazy. And third quarter, even though it kind of looked like that a little bit, the Bucks locked down defensively and they came back from a 19-point deficit. And in the fourth quarter, they took like a 5-point lead and they just never looked back since. And even though the Pacers tried and they fought their hardest and they would get quick offensive points and they, like they had everything flowing for them, the Bucks just had a little bit more. Damian Lillard play, it wasn't his best game, but when they needed a 3 from him, he hit them, and it was super clutch threes that the Bucks needed. Chris Middleton, good to see a game from him where he averages 15 points, because it's like his first time back, damn near. It might be his second game back, but his first time with the entire team. And to see like just a small version of what he used to be before the injury, before the rehab, it's great to see, and it can help the Bucks moving forward. Giannis, 35 points, 26 of them came in the second half. Amazing. First half, he was like a facilitator. He was passing. He was doing everything he needs to do for the team. Bucks pulled out the win. Too dominant with the whole team, and Pacers had no response. But anyways, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for coming out to the locker room. It's Real Talk with E, and safety.